Hey everybody, this is A-Hole coming to you tonight. Tonight I want to touch base on follow through and practice strategies, how to get a full follow through compared to a half or three-quarter follow through, and things that I do to get my follow through back when I start crossing over my chest and start struggling out of nowhere. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about upper body positioning, sideways like this or square shouldered, and a little bit about a head positioning. Lower body, that'll be a future video, but first off, I'm going to start off by saying you got to have a full follow through. When you're done, as I said in the previous video, you want your arm straight and pointing at the dartboard. And through fatigue or pressure or nerves, somebody like me throwing all the time, I tend to either leave my wrist up on my follow through or short arm it like this. One very effective way that I found out how to get my throw back is line up at the board, set my dart, and then I bring it to my back draw point. When I get to my back draw point, close both of my eyes and just fire straight at the board and leave my arm all the way out. So like I'll set like this, I'll bring it back here, close my eyes, and I'll throw with my eyes closed. And having your eyes closed, for me, I'm not focusing on anything at the board. When my eyes are closed, my mind is telling me full extension, full follow through, wrist flip. So from wherever you might set your dart and wherever you might bring it back to, everybody's different. You got to figure that out for yourself. So set your dart, bring it to your back draw point. Wherever that is, stop there. Close your eyes and just tell yourself, push straight at the board. And when you make sure you get that elbow snap up and wrist snap down. By snapping your wrist down or even towards the board, that causes your elbow to come up. You see how I'm just causes your elbow to come up. So your wrist is locked, and then when you get to your back draw, when you're coming forward, you snap your wrist, and it causes your elbow to snap up. And when your wrist goes down or towards the board, and that causes that straight arm. This is what you want at the end. Something like this, anything like this. You want that elbow completely straight. That causes your arm to be completely straight, and you want to point at what you're trying to hit. You don't want your arm coming down. You don't want to axis motion. Straight line, pointing exactly at what you want to hit. So for me to get that back after a long day of throwing, a lot of fatigue, pressure, maybe nerves, sometimes I lose it. This is one of my biggest struggles. That's why I keep coming back to it, because I notice it's a lot of people's struggles. When people are throwing, they're like, oh, follow through. They tell themselves, follow through. That's a big point in darts. If you watch any of the elite players in America, they have a full follow through. Some are more noticeable than others. Some is not so noticeable, because some of them will just throw and bring their arm down right away because they got that muscle memory built up. So like I said, at the line, however you're comfortable, or your stance, whatever it is, set your dart where you always set it at. Back draw, pause there, close your eyes, and just tell yourself full follow through, leave your arm out. Set your dart again, back draw, close your eyes, full follow through with your eyes closed. Set your dart, bring it to your back draw point, close your eyes, full follow through. There's been times when I'm actually warmed up and doing that, I've actually thrown hat tricks with my eyes closed. Not too often, but it has happened. Sometimes, instead of closing my eyes, I'll just set my dart, bring it to my back draw point, and just look at the ground and fire. Because I notice if I'm not focused on the target and just thinking about firing, you want to do that like 40 to 50 darts. Bring it to your back draw point, close your eyes, fire. Like I said in the previous video, straight punch, straight at the board. You're not axe chopping. You're not a lumberjack. What you're doing is you're pushing the dart directly at what you want to hit and pointing at it. You don't want to throw the dart to the board. For instance, if I'm going for bullseyes, you ever see that game at an amusement park where you got to throw a football through the tire? Through the tire. Not to the tire. You want the football to go through it. So that means you got to throw hard enough that you're trying to throw the dart through whatever you're trying to hit on the board. So if I'm going bullseyes, I'm firing that dart in there as hard as I can to create as straight line as possible so that it goes through the bullseye. Every dart you throw, you want to throw it hard as possible and straight. So just all you got to do is just keep practicing that. Set your dart, back draw point, close your eyes, and push the dart straight at the board, like casting a fishing pole. Okay? Casting a fishing pole. You're trying to get it halfway across the river. Like this. Either that, straight at the board. Straight at the board. None of this. None of this. None of this. None of this. No, you can't get any consistency. You got to have this elbow snap up when this wrist snaps straight or down. You want that. That's what you want. If you're going at the 20s, you'll have that. If you're going at the 19s, you'll have a little bit lower. Bullseye, straight out. Depending on your height and all that. Some people are so short, everything might be up. I know a really tall man, like he shoots down on the triple 20. So, he's going down like this at the 20. So 19s are probably way down here. But the bottom line is you want that arm all the way straight. And the best way to get that all the time, every time, is, as I said, bring the dart to your back draw point, close your eyes, and just fire out of it. Don't worry about what you're hitting on the board. It's just creating muscle memory. After you do 40 or 50 darts like that, open your eyes up, go to the line, leave your eyes open, do your normal throw. You do your normal throw, I guarantee that you're hitting better than you were before. So that's the best practice method that I came up with to get the follow through back is close your eyes and fire. So now I'm going to touch base on upper body alignment, head alignment. So like anything in darts, you can't tell somebody else that they're lining up wrong with their upper body. Some people